That's a notion that we must understand.
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
How you're treating this like a business, right? And this is something we speak about a lot, and a lot. This
topic has come up even more than once.
It's come up so many times. Like everybody that's successful shares this one notion. They might have different ways of achieving it, but absolute and categorically, they do not treat real estate, being a realtor, like a job. They treat it like a business, like it's a company, because it is. Because it is a fucking company, it's not a job. Like, you're in business for yourself here. You know, you're a commission person. You know, it's about you eating what you kill. So let's walk down this road with you, and because I think this is a great point. So let's open up.
Yeah. I mean, going back, even how the whole creativity ties into the business is, I think here's the main thing I think we, all of us, in, I guess, especially for new agents, is coming in. First of all, you're coming in, there are a lot of things you aren't told. I know for us in Florida specifically, so you get your license where you have about 90 days for you to get with a brokerage, to get with an association, and especially getting with an association, that's going to cost money. So you're coming in spending money before you actually make money. That right there already tells you, well, this is not a job. Because when I get a job, my uniform is provided for, my equipment, my tools, everything's provided for. Well, you're coming into this business. Well, it's a business. You're going to invest into your business first before you actually get any revenue. So that's a notion that we must understand. And then from there, for that business to just operate well, to be successful, and even to scale, is going to require more investment from me, whether that's investment of my time or investment of my money to make more money. So it's not that's just the way it works there, and it's never going to change. So if I understand that coming in, then I already know I'm already going to come in with that mindset. Then I'm set up for success. But if I don't have that mindset and thinking, well, I get my license and deals are just going to come to me, every one of my friends, they're gonna use me as their realtor. Or you're not going to have to pay for websites. You're going to have to pay for leads. You're not going to have to pay for different tools and systems that's going to help your business. Then you're going to have a very rude awakening.
That's a very good way of putting it. I remember when I first got started, $780 for the board, $300 for this, $100 for that, and it's like, shit. I haven't even made a sale yet.
Right.
You know, it's all there's so much that goes into it. It's the clear delineation is, with a job you get paid, with real estate you got to pay out first. Like that couldn't be more crystal clear that this isn't a job. But yet there's so many people that listen, that are probably listening to this. It's like, you aren't treating this like a real business, which is why you're probably not where you want to be. We've unlocked so many amazing tactics, strategies, actionable stuff on other episodes, whereas you can go out and find another listing, find another 10 listings, find another 10 buys, build, get into developers, get into luxury, get into pre-construction, whatever you want. But all of it starts with treating this like a business.
Right.
You can't build a good house on sand foundations. It doesn't work because it'll just crumble. And that's the problem. So if you're going to like, yeah, I just want to get another listing, like whatever, like, fuck these guys talking about it's just a job. Like I just want to get it done. Sure, you can walk away and think of it like that, but you're never going to be successful doing that. It's important that your mindset around this is like, I'm building something for my future and potentially other people's futures, whether it's, anyone in your family or friends or whatever whatever it is for you specifically. But a lot of people aren't doing that. And I think that's why the failure rate is 84% a year, which is really sad because it's not through the lack of homes and it's definitely not through the inability to, that people want to buy or sell. There is a lot out there, you obviously closed homes. Peter's closing homes. Like, Peter first 2 weeks did like nearly $2 million in volume. It's not because it's not there. It's because you are not treating this like a business. And when, Peter got into it, like he's run companies, and that's not to say like, oh, it's because he ran a company, but it's like the mindset was like, I've got to get leads coming in so I can close them. Step one is like, I have to have leads to close. So what do? Like go and generate leads. That's like step one. And then like I'm along for all these rides and the ups and downs of like, how do you do this? How do you do this? One of the other things that people run into, and this is kind of adding on to it, is they overthink about it and it's analysis paralysis. So they're like, I don't know, how do you do an open house? I don't know how to do it. So I need to figure out how to do an open house before I can become a real estate agent or before I do this and that. I don't know how to do it. And it's like, they are just crazy.
I did an open house before I knew how to do an open house. Like I had it scheduled in the MLS. I rolled up to the open house and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to print out all this other stuff. I had an iPad. I said, sign in here. And then I was like, I probably should go figure out how to do an open house properly next time. Had over 100 people maybe walk through, double-ended the deal, sold the house in less than 48 hours. Moved on to the next one, right?
Nice.
Imperfect action. That's all it took.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was having a similar conversation about that too with, actually one of my team members. And I think what's kind of contributing to that a lot too is kind of today's, I guess, culture of success and displaying and portraying success. It's like we feel like if we're not publishing or if we're not displaying success, all day every day highlights of success on social media, then it's like if we're not doing that, then we shouldn't be doing anything at all. So as a result, it's like we're afraid to, like you said, to do those imperfection actions or afraid to fail. Because we think that's just because we can't display that. If we can't display the failure, then there's no point of us even trying. And I think that hurts our business and our industry when, especially with new agents coming in. It's like, but I have to. No, you need to go out there, try these different things, and when you fail at it, you may have to try it again, or if you fail at it, you fail so bad, then maybe it's not for you, and try the next thing. But I think the fact that we always want to show that, okay, we're successful, we always want to show all the highlights of our lives and never the lowlights, then we don't even try those things that that may seem somewhat difficult or may seem not even that we won't necessarily be successful at it, so we don't even try it. So, yeah, I think that adds on to it.
Which ties back into creativity, right? So it's like, let's just use a gym meme example. It's like, oh, you put one out and no one likes it. No one comments on it. Oh, well, it doesn't work.
Right.
I've stopped doing it. Like I did this one time. You plucked up all this courage and then it didn't work. And it's like, holy shit. Like, do you know, like, how much, like, not only us on the call, but everyone else that you probably look up to has failed.
Yeah.
But I can tell you something. People don't remember the failures.
Right.
They don't.
That's a great point.
They don't. People don't now remember that SpaceX blew up 3 of their rockets before the 4th worked. They don't.
Right.
People don't remember that they failed, I forget how many times, to land the boosters. People now know them as the first rocket company in history that's ever launched a rocket privately and landed the boosters for reuse.
Mm-hmm.
No one remembers the 3 failures anymore.
Right.
Cost him billions. He lost his home. He did it all for the pursuit of his mission. And like, that's an extreme example. The truth of it is still there. It's like, no one remembers that, like, especially on socials. Like, let's be honest, guys, with just us on this call, like right now, and like you know, people listening, I reckon you can relate. You've dropped a post and you were like, you know, you've maybe dropped a comment about something and just no one. Yeah. Nobody is doing anything with it. And you're like, oh my God. And, you know, and or you've dropped something and people have hated on it. Well, to be fair, what we're talking about won't necessarily, you know, fall into that category. But like, we didn't get here because we gave up after 1,
right,
or 100. Like, and by the way, you learn fast. You really do get market feedback super quick. You know, inside.
As long as you're paying attention and you're not flat out ignoring it, you're going to get it fast.
Yeah,
right.
I think. Yeah, exactly. You know, you get market feedback, they give it to you, and then from that you iterate. And no, you know, if you're right first time, awesome. But on social media, this is an absolute guarantee. You can take this to the bank. You drop a post, by the next day maximum, no one's remembered it. Like, especially if it was a flop, no one remembers it in about 5 minutes, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, but like. For example, I did a post, and to be fair, it's been my most successful one. It was, I think I got nearly 500 people commented on it. And I was like, and this was legitimately my first or second post, right? That I'd gone in and it was in a real estate group, and I posted about something and something like 500 comments. And I was like, holy shit, this is, and then my instant thought was like, God, if it's like this every time, this is going to be insane. And then it's like that, was it a hot hand fallacy where it's like what you think is going to happen will continue to happen? I'm not even joking. My next post, which was like 2 days later, which was just on something different but with the same theme, literally got 0. Like actually nothing.
Yep.
I was there and I was like, oh my God. I've come back, crash into reality. Did I stop? No. I was like, okay, well, one, like I look at different stuff as well. We're talking about posting very specifically here now, but it's like, you know, whether it's time of day. So for example, I've always found Sundays to be rubbish. Like I always find Sundays to be terrible. People just don't see it. They're out chilling with their families. They're doing whatever. Like I just don't find Sundays useful. And, you know, everyone's got different strategies on what they're posting, who they're posting to. Just look at your demographic, right? So you're a real estate agent, you're a broker, you want buyers. Well, what are they doing? Well, they're at work, most of them. So it's like, do you post during lunch hours when they're likely scrolling through their social media, right? To grab their attention. So are you posting at like 1 p.m.? You know, things like that. Are you posting at like 7 p.m. when they've kind of sat down after work and they might be going to some dinner? You know, you're not posting like Saturday at 3 a.m. You know, you're posting at like logical times. You know, people severely underestimate the knowledge they have because they overcomplicate it. Like most likely you at one point were your target market. If you're a real estate agent, you've probably bought a home or you've rented a home. So you knew how you went through that process and you now know how other people go through it. You know what drew you to it. Do more of that. Look why you bought. Look who you went with. Why did you go with them? What creativity did they use to get your attention? Because I can guarantee there was more than one person that, you know, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe you got connected with one realtor and that was it. But it's unlikely in this day and age.
Yeah. And if it was a bad experience, well, how would you make it better?
How would you make it better? I mean, you know, when we was chatting, I think it was with Robert on, you know, in fact, we've spoken about it a bunch, but we were chatting with Robert on one of our initial podcasts, and he was just like, when I was a brand new agent, I had nothing. And he was like, I just went and built relationships with like suppliers and stuff to help people move. So my value was like with the external stuff that I could help with that made me stand out because I was new. I was willing to take those cuts. I was willing to, go that extra mile to get those, get those notches on my belt. Something I'm not sure what you think about this, Joe, but I actually saw this the other day, and I have pretty strong opinion about this with regards. Someone said they're a brand new agent and this person was wanting to list their home and they really, really want the listing. I was like, okay. And they were like, but they want me to take a lower commission. And I was like, okay. And they were like, no. And I was like, well, what do you mean no? And they're like, well, why would I do that? The commission's like 6%. I was like, they were like, other people don't do that. And I was like, those other people got a shitload of experience. Yeah. Have they got brands? Yeah. Okay. Are you a brand new agent? You got this opportunity? Yeah. Take a goddamn lower commission, right? Get rungs on your belt. And to be fair, it's experience. Ooh, and it's like, you still got to do it. Like you either want the deal or you don't. If you're not willing to drop a couple of % or whatever to get those deals under the belt, like what are you doing?
We can talk about creativity. That's exactly what I did on my first few deals to just get things going. And people are like, why would you do that? I'm like, why wouldn't I do that?
Right.
I was presented with an opportunity. I looked to capitalize on it. I've been able to move volume that a brand new agent is not able to do so. And I was able to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
That 9 out of 10 will not do because of the ego or the arrogance of this is what I want to do. Sure, would have 6% been nice? Hell yeah. But that wasn't a reality. But because of it, I pushed $1 million of extra volume because I decided to take 4 instead of 6.
This is where, like, of course, the creativity is, thinking strategically, of course, and even, and the business part where it ties in together. And I see this, oh man, especially with a lot with new agents when it comes to this whole thing of listing agents and buying agent. And you have now, I know, a lot of kind of the old traditional models, and I blame, a company with the 2-letter names, I think it's KOW, or
no fingers pointed
for doing that is just, putting, especially with new agents coming in, I had a new agent coming in. Yeah, I want to be a listing agent. Okay, that's great. You could be a listing agent in about 5 years or in about 3 to 5 years once you've built yourself a business. But coming in, most agents are going to be buyer's agent. That's what it's going to be, unless you just happen to be an agent that's you're the only agent in your sphere of influence, and all your sphere of influences are homeowners looking to upgrade or downgrade.
Which is not in today's market.
Exactly.
Which is nowhere in the whole of North America right now. But I think there's one fast track. I'll counter you, and I think there is one fast track that if you are just, I want to be listing, I think you've got to join a good team. I think if you want to join a good team, a reputable team, you obviously split your commission, you got your broker split, so you are going to take a lot less. But then you can come in and let's say, Peter's on your team and he's on Paul's team, number 64 agent, huge brand.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Peter's getting listings. It's like, well, how can he do that with a brand new agent? He's taking less of a cut. He joined a team. He's not going out there as Peter Michael. He was going out there, I'm part of Paul's team. Like, we do all this. We're this big brand. All of a sudden, okay, we're happy to work with you. Why? Because Peter's leveraging his team. This is why joining good teams, good organizations, people who help you. So you can become a listing agent right away, but
not on your own.
Not on your own. That will be seriously difficult. But you could do it right away if that is genuinely all you want. But also you got to think long term, right? I want to bring this up. You probably want to be a listing agent right now because everyone wants listings. And
Right.
that's where the money is, right?
Right.
So Michael Reese, those who don't know, he's Jay Kinder's partner, right? Michael Reese did in 1 year 365 listings himself in 1 year. Just let break in. He averaged one a day for a year. Why? He was part of a team, but he was the only listing agent on the team. The
Right.
only one. So every single person that wanted to sell could only go through him. So all the transactions went under him. They were part of his team. That was, I forget what year that was. It wasn't like crazy long ago, but it obviously wasn't pandemic time where everyone, listings are crazy. But he niched into listings, like from way back, way back. He was a listing agent. And it was just his niche that he fell into. Why were all the other, I think 10 people was it on his team, all but just buyers?
Yeah.
Think long-term too. It's okay to be both, but don't just become a listing agent because you're like, everyone wants listings now. That's where the money is, blah, blah, blah. It's 6%, 7%, whatever you want. It's like, you got to think, again, it's a business and you got to think about long-term, what you want this to look like. There is no point. For example, I think some of the kind of the worst business failures in a lot of ways, and it might not be financially, that I've ever seen, are people who've built businesses on short-term gratification and realize that they are now stuck because they're now known for this. And then if they go back to square one, it's like all of a sudden, like, what have they got? I mean, like this is a made-up example, but imagine you went to law school, become a lawyer, because you're like, I want to make 300 grand a year. Awesome. But your real passion in life was to be a vet. All of a sudden, you get 10 years into your career, you've just done it at law school for, 7 years or whatever it is. And then you're like, holy hell, I'm making all this money, but how can you go back? What are you going to do now? Go and get a veterinary degree? Like, it's this is what I mean, though, isn't it? It's like short-term thinking it really, really, really can impact your life. Like, a lot of your life. It's not like a year thing. It's like, so I want to heed warning for everyone. It's like, choose something that you long-term want to do. Now, I think another one that ties into a team with listings, right, is luxury. That's what I hear a ton. I'm not sure about you, Joe, but I want to get into selling $1 million condos because they get 25, 30, 40 grand checks from selling that condo, right? And they're like, I want to do that. And I think that's awesome. Again, I don't want to say you're not going to be able to. The chances are very, very unlikely that you're going to be able to walk in as a new real estate agent and sell those, go to Miami in Porsche Tower and sell the penthouse for 15 million. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah, there's a process to that, and to go back to, your example with the agent refusing to take, I guess, a lower listing fee. I mean, I think, in talking about business and real estate being a business is understanding the value, the value of a lead, the value of a prospect, the value of a deal, the value of a deal closed. It's almost limitless because you list that property for 4% for that person. You don't know who they know. You don't know who's in their sphere. You don't know who's in their network. You could do that for them. And, and you have a talk with them. Hey, okay, I do that for you. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do it for you. But here's what I need from you. And you make a deal out of that deal.
This is exactly what happened to Peter on his deal. You got another deal from his deal, didn't you? Taking a lower percentage. So
three deals in one deal, essentially, right?
Those are things that we need to understand coming into this business, that it's what you close a deal. I forgot who had it where the value of I guess a prospect or a real estate deal is not just the 3 or 2% commission you get right now. If you look at it long term, 5 to 10 years down the line, that could be that the value is in the upper 50,000s. because you don't know how many referrals are going to come from that deal. You don't know who that person know. The same person you help, maybe a year from now they need to sell that home or they need to buy another home. So you have to think long term in thinking this as a business.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, we're giving access to a private training we did where we revealed the top 3 niches to get listings today completely for free. So if you want access, you can go and download that training at eliteagentsecrets.com. We're regularly releasing new trainings, guides, and cheat sheets, so make sure to head over to eliteagentsecrets.com and sign up so you don't miss out.